Good evening, Stockport County fans, and welcome back to the channel. We're back here today to about Stockport County, of course, where we're just 2 weeks away, just less than 2 weeks away actually, from the season starting. But of course, we're back with pre-season friendlies, back-to-back days at the end of this week. Salford away this Friday evening, and then of course back at Edgeley Park for Hull City on Saturday. I'll be going to both of those, and I think you'll be able to see a vlog available from both those games as well. It's been a busy Monday for Stockport County. They've spoke about the fans forum. You can get tickets for that. That's next Wednesday. They've also said that they're putting on the away tickets for the Wycombe game as well. I think that's going to be happening Wednesday this week, and then Friday general sale, I think, if I've read that correctly. Just sort of skim read it. But then of course, just half an hour ago, at the time of recording, Stockport County did announce that they've signed a new player. It doesn't come as much of a surprise, to be honest. It is a player which we've been sort of linked with for the last few weeks. It is one that I expected to be completed this week, and I even spoke about it in the video I did on Friday as well. That is, of course, the confirmation of the signing of Arttu Hoskonen, or Hoskonen rather. I'm going to mess up that pronunciation many times until I hear other people say it, to be fair on that one. But I'm going to go with Arttu Hoskonen. That's what I'm going to go with. So anyway, Stockport County, let's just call him the Finnish guy. But he's not finished, he is 28. Stockport County can confirm they have signed Arttu Hoskonen. He joins County on a 2-year deal with the option of an extra year. And of course, he's been welcomed to Edgeley Park today by Stockport County. Look, I mean, it's an exciting move. There's no doubt about that. It's a Finland International. What's not to be excited about with that? With that, I mean, at Stockport County, we're not used to having these internationals very often. So when we do, I think we all get a bit giddy about it. I think we had a similar reaction with Benoni Breki Anderson when he signed in January. Of course, an Icelandic international, or under 23s international at the moment. I think under 21s, but will probably be a full international in the next few years. Bit of news about him actually. Apparently he scored, I think it was 4 goals against Everton's reserves in a behind closed doors friendly this weekend. But anyway, back to topic. We're talking about Hoskonen. I think I nailed it there just then. He signed a 2-year deal with an option of an extra year. 28 years of age. He signs on a free transfer after playing for Cracovia. I want to say, I think it's a Polish side. He spent the last 2.5 years at Cracovia, making 54 appearances for the Polish side. An aerially dominant centre half. I messed that up. Centre half who's comfortable, basically good in the air, comfortable in possession. Hoskonen began his professional career in his native Finland, joining a team, I'm going to say, into Turku as a 13-year-old after making his professional debut for the club in 2016. We get a bit of backstory on it, but basically he's played, his football. I think he's played for Helsinki as well over in Finland. He's played in European Conference League games, I think, qualifiers. He's played for Finland. He's scored against England. For the Three Lions, the senior team. Just I think it was 18 months ago, maybe just short of 18 months ago. He's an experienced player. He's played, as I say, for Finland many times. He's played across sort of Finland, Poland. So he comes in with a wealth of experience, different experience to maybe what we're used to bringing in typically. He's 28 years of age. He's been given a 2-year contract. This looks to me pretty much like a like-for-like replacement of Fraser Horsfall. I think we probably offered him the contract or similar contract to what we offered to that of Fraser Horsfall. And like I say, he's probably on a contract which is similar to what Fraser Horsfall turned down in favour of move to Blackpool. So I think that certainly when we've recruited him, we've looked at, the age, the experience factor, the style of play factor, and I think what we should see is someone who can basically perform similarly to Fraser Horsfall, and therefore it shouldn't be too much different in that back line. Hopefully, if he can fit in, as we want him to. But it is a brave move for him, and I think we'll get back. We'll get to that in a second when we speak about the comments from both Sam Wilson and Dave Chalner, because they've said about that as well. But it's a brave move. It is a brave move for him because he's never played in England before. 28 years of age. He's massively stepping out of his comfort zone. There's going to be a huge question marks about whether or not he can adapt. He might be good in the countries he's played in, but can he step it up? Can he play and compete in English football, albeit League One football? But can he make that step up? And especially if County go on to achieve what they want to achieve, which is promotion, is this a player which can potentially go up another division with us? So that's going to be very interesting to find out. But of course, he's a little bit behind schedule. He's not had a club this summer, so he's a little bit behind in terms of fitness. I do expect to see him get some amount of minutes in both the friendlies, I think, that this upcoming weekend. But I think in terms of starting the season, as it stands at the moment, I think it's more likely that we'll see him on the bench, because I just think he'll be slightly behind. I think he's got to work his way back into the squad. But I guess we'll get a better idea of that once we see him hopefully play in the Salford game, and hopefully feature in the Hull City game as well at Edgeley Park. So this is what club CEO Simon Wilson had to say about the new incoming Finland International. We tasked our team to go out and look for value in the market, which might mean we look in places that others either don't or won't. I'm delighted with the work of our guys. We have signed an international footballer who speaks fluent English at his peak age as a free agent. There will be naturally a transition period for Arttu as he adapts to the intensity of our team and league. However, the fact he has made international transitions already means he has coped before, and we are confident once adapted, we're getting a player who will do very well for us. So he's very confident on that, of course, and as you would be if you've been working on this signing for the last few weeks, you will be confident that you've got the right player. And he spoke about it there, the fact he's already had to adapt to playing in a different country before now, and they don't see any reason why he can't do it again. And also as well, as a Finland international, he'll be used to playing in different countries against different styles of teams, different types of teams. So I think in that respect, it should hopefully be something he can, sort of adjust to very, very, very quickly, really. And the fact he speaks fluent English is a huge boost as well, because a lot of the time the issues you have when you bring in players from foreign leagues is that the language barrier can be just as much of an impact as anything else. So the fact he speaks fluent English is it ticks another box as far as I'm concerned. Dave Challoner, this is what he's had to say on it then. Firstly, I'd like to welcome Arttu to England, and most importantly to Stockport County. I think it's fair to say that we were a little bit surprised by how quickly this move materialised, but it's also safe to say that when every staff member was asked for their opinion and thoughts around the potential of bringing Arttu to the club, it was met with universal support and real excitement. There's a huge credit to our recruitment team, who have scoured near and far to discover a profile that we think will be a great fit for us. For that player to be a full Finnish international in his prime years, and for that to be within our budget, is obviously really pleasing. We all feel that this is a move that will benefit everyone. Arttu coming to this country for the first time and showcasing his talents in a new league is something we are all looking forward to seeing. As a player, he is really a mix of new and old. As a central defender, in his clips you can see that desire and want to defend, stop attacks and keep the ball out of his goal, yet in possession shows calmness to his play when necessary and clears when required. We're all really looking forward to working with him and supporting him and his girlfriend in what is really a brave move to relocate and show what he can do. He's already shown his character, and I'm sure he will fit into our group really, really quickly. He's a little bit behind at present, having played in the international games in June, but not training with a team since. So now his work permit is cleared. It will be great to get him into the swing of things fully. He's joining a distinguished group of Finnish players who have represented the club, and I'm sure he'll be just as popular and as big of a success. So obviously Challoner speaking very confidently. It does talk about the issues about him adjusting, and obviously with his partner as well, and also the fact that he's not had a pre-season really, so we spoke about it a little bit before that. So I do expect we'll try and get him into the, to quote Challoner, the swing of things this weekend in both those friendlies. I think what you'll see in the friendlies against Salford and against Hull, I don't think you'll see a strong team in one and a weakened team in the other. I think what you'll see is a mixed bag. I think you'll get a sort of rotated team in both halves of each game. The fact we've only got two pre-season games other than the Bristol game really tells me that we'll probably see a mixed team. Obviously, I think there probably has been games behind closed doors, like the one potentially on Saturday against Everton's reserves. But in terms of out-and-out friendlies that we're all aware of, there hasn't been as many pre-season games as we've typically had in the past. I'm sure there's reasons for that. But because of that, and I think with how close they are to the season as well, I do think we'll see a mixed team in both games, as opposed to a strong team on Friday or a strong team on Saturday and a weakened team in the opposite game. So if that's the case, then I think there's a good chance that we'll see a bit of a Hoskonen in both those games this upcoming weekend, if that makes sense. So look, it is an exciting one. Like I say, naturally, when you bring in a player which is a foreign talent. There is an element of excitement about that because it's not something that happens a lot at this level. So when we do, we get, I think we, like I said before at the beginning, I think we all get a bit giddy about it. The only concern I would have is the fact he hasn't played in England before. We're hoping he'll adjust, and there's reasons to suggest he will, but there is always that question mark of can he, because he hasn't proven he can play in English football thus far in his career, and he's 28 years of age, so there is that slight question mark there. And also as well, appearances last season, I think he made just 14 for Cracovia last season in Poland, so it's not a lot of game time, it's not a lot of football. I'm guessing there were injury issues in there, but even the last few years, he hasn't played loads of football. It doesn't look like, from what I'm sort of having a skim look at, it doesn't look like there's been a lot of football played. So there may well be injury issues there that are a factor. It may well just be that he wasn't selected. I'm not entirely sure, but he's not played as much football as, let's say, Horsfall might have played. Having said that, Horsfall had his injuries last season as well, so maybe I'm being unfair. And also, 28 years of age, we started to see Horsfall pushed out a little bit at the back end of last season once Brad Hills came in. So with Ethan Pye hopefully staying and Joseph Olowu there, maybe still have options like Cam Connolly. It's not like we're bringing in someone here who saying has to start every game. If he can do that, great. But we've got a more than capable defence. Potentially, if Olowu steps up to what we think he could be, alongside Pye, we've got a more than capable defence, and he just becomes a welcomed addition to that. So let's wait and see what happens. We're stepping into the unknown with him. He's not played in English football before, so that brings an element of excitement, but also question marks. It's a free transfer. He's a Finland international. It does feel like a bit of a coup signing, but until we actually get to see him play, we can't really judge too much either way, can we? But it will be exciting to hopefully see what he's about. From everything I've read about him, it sounds really, really positive, and I'm just looking forward to seeing him play in a Stockport County shirt, hopefully as early as this Friday. And I can't wait for the season to be back as well over the next few weeks. So I'll just wait your thoughts on this signing, what your thoughts and how excited are you to bring in our 5th signing of the summer. Where else in the squad do you think we need to recruit? What more positions? How many more signings do we need? Or, in your opinion, do you think we need to bring in through the door? What kind of positions should we be looking at to improve? Do you think there's a sign for anyone to, do you think anyone will potentially end up moving on as well yet with the window still open? Do you think we'll see any more departures? I want to get your thoughts on that, but more importantly, I want to get your thoughts on, of course, the new Finland International who's signed and is in the building today. So that's my thoughts. Like I said, I want to get your thoughts. I want to get your thoughts on the friendlies as well coming up this weekend. And just anything Stockport County, drop your questions in. Don't forget to like the video if you have enjoyed it. Do get your comments in as always. Subscribe if you are new. And as always, thanks for watching.